Cancer. This is Ariel, the Tarot Translator, here to do a timeless love reading for you, the sign of Cancer. This is intended to be a timeless reading, so whenever you find it, it is supposed to have a message here for you in some capacity. It might not all resonate with you, so whatever it does, keep it for yourself, and whatever it doesn't, just leave for everyone else. This is, again, a collective reading, so it's not personalized to you. However, there should be something in the reading that resonates for you. This is going to, again, be a love reading. Let's jump in and get started for you. We're going to start off with one major arcana card, which is just the overall energy of the reading. We've got our first card here. We have the moon. That's a really beautiful card for the moon. I love this deck. So we're going to put that here on my board. I'm going to pick out a few more cards, and these are intended to be the cards that are sort of what we go back to at the end of the reading as the overall lying messages that are intended for you. So let's go ahead and jump in with one of our oracle cards for you. So our first card was the moon, and we'll explain what that means in just a moment. Let's get our next card. We've got Justice. That's a really beautiful Justice card. Okay, so we've got the moon and we've got Justice. The moon can often talk about feelings that we have that we're not typically expressing outwardly, that maybe we're not comfortable expressing even with those who are our closest friends and family. It can also talk about secrets that are sort of brewing under the surface between you, your partner, or you and, it doesn't always have to be necessarily a romantic partner. It could be platonic, it could be a work situation, but the moon is very much what it sounds like, right? It's when it's dark outside, you can't quite see everything. So not everything is revealed as opposed to the sun. But there's something here where justice and the moon coming out can mean that, maybe you feel that there are some unjust situations that you've come across lately, and you're keeping those tight and close to your vest. Close to your heart, because you don't feel like you're in a space where you can share that with everyone yet. But let's see what comes out next. We're going to pick out another oracle card here for you. Okay. Keepers of the earth. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. That's a really beautiful card. So this is a reminder from Source that you are never alone. Your ancestors, those who came before us, whatever religious background you have, or if you're a spiritual person, such as myself, like the understanding that we're all intertwined and connected, and that, you're never alone, even in those moments when you feel like you are. So again, this is just a really beautiful reminder that came out here, and it came right next to the Justice card and the moon. We're going to grab another card here, and this can often reflect karmic cycles or situations that we're currently in that might need to be released. This deck has a lot of really cool information in it, so let's just see what pops out for you in this reading to put next to these cards here on the board. Thank you. We outgrew each other. Okay, so that obviously has a connotation of being in a situation where perhaps we're sort of staying in a space of stagnation, because a lot of the times, depending on how far along you are in your relationship with somebody, it could be, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could be 20 years, it could be 40 years, it could be whatever the length of time is. There's often a moment as human beings where we're either growing with each other or we're beginning to grow apart. And when we begin to grow apart, it's not always bad, but it's definitely most of the time scary the longer that you've been with someone, right? So if you've been in a significant relationship for several years, or you've been married for, 20 plus years, it's going to be a lot harder to accept that two people have outgrown each other than it would be, let's say, if you're dating and you've, just realized after a good solid 6 months or a year or 2 years. And typically studies have shown that, when humans get into a relationship with each other, they know if this person is going to be their person long-term of serious significance by year 2, 2.5. So yeah, anything prior to that might still feel really significant, but you can certainly outgrow each other in a much shorter aspect of time as well. So we've got here the moon, Justice, Keepers of the Earth, you're not alone, and we outgrew each other. Let's go ahead and jump into the tarot now that we've got these 4 cards here and see what might be going on. So let's do a past energy, a current energy, and then a coming energy, so future coming energy. And remember, this is based off of just the current energies that are flowing around you as a collective right now, Cancer. This is not This is not like some sort of, tell all, be all, this is it. But if it resonates with you, you're really listening for messages that come through in the tarot that are going to help you in some way go through the situation that you're going through. So we're going to start off here with this past energy. I've got the Page of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. And in the current, we've got the Two of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Tower. In the coming future energy, we've got the Queen of Swords, the Sun, and the Nine of Cups. Okay, what we don't see coming at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords, which can talk about some sleepless nights and some anxieties. We'll get to that in a moment. And the challenge currently is the Five of Cups energy, which is water energy. So the Five of Cups depicts as a challenge someone who feels sort of like unfulfilled in their relationship in this present moment in time. And again, having outgrown each other here, and justice and the support from loved ones from your past, or perhaps past memories, being there to support you in this time as you reflect in this Five of Cups energy. There's something here about some anxiety over some shifts that might be changing, and I'm going to try to help you sort through that so it doesn't feel quite so scary. So, because again, change can feel scary for all of us. I don't care what your zodiac sign is. So in the recent past, we have the Page of Cups, Ace of Wands to the Queen of Wands. There was a situation here where you became very attracted to somebody. A Queen of Wands can be a fire energy, a fire sign energy. That can be like Leo, Venus, Leo Sun. It could be Sagittarius. It could be Aries. But there was some sort of fiery energy. It can be interchanged with the King of Wands as well. There's no gender in tarot. So Ace of Wands, there's some sort of big attraction that was sparked in this recent past with a fire sign of some sort, or somebody who's got fire strongly in their chart. And you decided, or they decided, to make you a small offer, right? Not an Ace of Cups offer, not like I'm in love with you, but like a, hey, I'm interested, I'm intrigued by you, I want to know more about you. And they happen to catch you, or you happen to catch each other at a time where you're probably open to an option because you're not fully fulfilled in the options that you currently have. And the idea of it sort of gives you some anxiety, because in the current moment, we've got the Two of Wands to the Three of Pentacles to the Tower. So I've got here someone who is clearly contemplating, get this order out right for you here. So we've got someone who's clearly contemplating between two choices, right? Someone who's saying, I'm in this Five of Cups energy. I've recently met somebody that I'm sort of sparked an interest in me. It does give me anxiety to perhaps choose a different path, but I think I want to take that risk and move forward with some collaboration, again, be it platonic, romantic, or in a work endeavor. But there is some fear there that it's going to sort of blow things up. And so let's see what this coming energy looks like before we clarify all of these cards. So we've got the Queen of Swords, which talks about cutting out people who are no longer serving us. It can talk about honest, truthful conversations. This might be a current partner that you feel is sort of cold towards you in a way, or that warmth that once was there is no longer there, that the sun is sort of something that you're craving, that warmth, that feeling of just, Nine of Cups energy, like I've got everything that I want in this moment, and I feel alive, right? Because it's interesting, every time I see synchronicities, if this is what you don't see coming, or the state of mind that you might be in right now, that Nine of Swords compared to the Nine of Cups, I mean, they're both nines, but they're polar opposites, right? One is a feeling of like despair. I'm not sure what's going to happen. What if this all blows up? And Nine of Cups is a feeling of like, I'm liberated. This feels great. I want to pursue. So let's go ahead and clarify. So for recent past with Ace of Wands, what's the Ace of Wands recent past here for Cancer, please? Ace of Wands recent past. Okay, again, synchronicity here with your Five of Pentacles energy being very similar to that challenging state that you're in right now. Five of Cups, I talk about the 3D being the earthly plane and the 5D being the spiritual plane. So not only are you feeling like there's something lacking in that, earthly plane, so maybe some of that warmth and stuff, you're not feeling like your current relationship is fulfilling you completely, or something recently ended that is no longer, and it left like a gap, a hole in your heart space, but also in the 5D energy, so on the spiritual plane, there's a lack there as well. So let's look at what this So, okay, and that came out to clarify the Ace of Wands. So to me, that's very much telling of like someone who feels left out in the cold, and then something came along and re-sparked or ignited their fire inside them. And that typically talks about some sort of big attraction moment that happened here in the recent past. And then you've got your Page of Cups, which is being clarified by your Four of Swords. So someone came towards you with an offer, or you came towards someone with an offer that you feel might help mend some of that hurt that you've got going on, some of that loneliness that you feel is going on. And this Queen of Wands being the next card that we're going to clarify here, I'm curious as to what comes out. Okay, we've got Four of Pentacles. So that's very much talking about, okay, yeah, I'm super attracted to this person. I feel like there's connection. I feel like it's something worth exploring, but yet I'm like really guarded and reserved about my pentacle energy, right? I have things that I've built in my life that I'm afraid of tower momenting, right? So like while I'm intrigued, I'm still very much cautious, right? It's a very cautious energy here in the recent past. And in the current energy, in the current present energy, we've got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands are a divine match, right? That can talk about soulmate, soul ties, soul contracts, and that came out to clarify this Two of Wands energy. So something about someone sort of sparking that interest again, very attractive king. They can be considered sort of a domineering king, definitely knows what he wants, how he wants it. And this king is contemplating making a choice here. And so to the Three of Pentacles, we've got the Ace of Swords. So that talks about honest, truthful conversations, whether they be with a collaborative party, so someone that you're considering partnership with, friends, or just with yourself, having some sort of an inner dialogue of, should I move forward with this potential new option? Should I collaborate with this new option? Is it safe to collaborate with this new option? Or is it going to bring me this? Because clearly we're nervous about tower moments here in the current energy. So what is the Tower? The Tower is the Death, and they often come out together, and it's not scary because both cards are actually really beautiful. They really speak about rebirth more than they speak about like doom and gloom. They speak about something that is current in your world that the universe is saying, like, is it enough for you? Like, do you feel like you're missing something? And if so, know that it's okay. It's okay to feel like you're missing something. It's okay to feel like I'm not done exploring who I am completely. If I feel like I'm sort of growing apart from a current partner, is it like, is it safe to think of what if maybe there's somebody I'm meant to meet out there? Because in this current energy, it's very much talking about a soul partnership, a soul tie. And so, these two, they don't come out together, right? You often, you get different suits, but they're not always of the same. So like, for example, the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords are not like a divine match, right? These two are very, very counterproductive energies for each other. They would not fall in love and sparks are flying. She would get annoyed with him and probably cut him out. But his divine match would be like, yeah, I'm down for the fun. I'm down for the freedom. I'm down for the exploration. Just very different energies. Rebirth energy here. Something is rebirthing in your life right now. Someone that you recently met has sparked new interest and or it's coming in. You will meet somebody soon and it will create this sort of like, hey, this might be the person to help me get out of this Five of Cups energy. So let's look at the coming future energies here. We've got the Two of Cups, which very much talks about partnership, talk about soul ties. You've got your Nine of Cups energy here. Somebody that should you choose to collaborate with would bring a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. We've got the Sun here, which is the happiest card in the deck. I've got a couple that want to come out here. Let's go here and here to the ones that are facing upwards. Okay, so for the Sun, what came out was the World, right? And the Sun and the World are very different energies, but at the same time, they're much they're very much yes, okay? So in tarot, every card has a resonating yes or no answer, and this is telling us yes, there's something here that the universe is giving you as a gift because it's going to bring you warmth and happiness, and it is going to lead you to a feeling of Two of Cups, Nine of Cups energy, and it is going to get you out of this stagnation. You've got the Ace of Cups here, which is a lot of love. That's your full cup of love. So you're going from recent past energy, Page of Cups, like a sort of small offer, spark of interest, to full blown like, oh my gosh, I think I could trust this person with a significant part of like my heart. Like I could care for this person. Queen of Swords energy saying, and I'm willing to like cut out certain people, places, or things that are going to hinder me from all this happiness, because this is a lot of happiness right here, my friend. There's something coming in for you that is definitely going to bring you a lot of joy. But another card that popped out, and we can't ignore it, and again, we also had the Moon. So the Seven of Swords can be a deceptive energy. It can be where one makes a choice to choose themselves over perhaps putting others first, in a secretive sort of way. In the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, you've got, the guy that has the Seven Swords that he's, taking away from the camp. And in some references, it's like interpreted as, well, he's taking them away so that they can't hurt him with those Seven Swords. And in other interpretations, it is very much like, he's being sneaky, he's being a thief, he's stealing something that isn't his. And yet in this depiction here, it's sort of a bit of both. It's this feeling of like, look, I know that intuitively, I feel that I've got all of this positivity coming my way, right? With the Sun and the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups. And I mean, this is a lot of cup energy. This is a lot of like divine intervention with the world being the symbol of like the universe here giving you this gift. But yet it's like, perhaps in order to be able to obtain that or to test the waters with that, it requires one to be a bit selfish. So there's no judgment here from me. I'm just telling you what the cards see, and what the messages that are naturally popping out for you here. You've got Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck right now. Let's take a look for a moment at what we have in the realm of what aspect of your life this is all sort of talking about. I'm just curious what comes up here. So free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So again, giving very much that feeling of I'm feeling stuck, Five of Cups energy, Nine of Swords energy. I'm sort of caged in a way. And there's concern, right? There's concern about taking a chance, getting out of that cage. Sometimes when we've been caged up for so long, or in a long-term relationship, we feel like that's our whole world. And it is, because we've built so much of a life around it, that it's terrifying to step out of those parameters. And then you've got here the privileged lady. So that's very much, it can be a privileged man too, but it talks about somebody that's sparked interest in you that maybe perhaps you want to share something significant with. Oh, and then you get great fortune. So some money coming your way, or some sort of prosperous thing that happens should you let this privileged lady or gentleman into your world. Yet there's concern there, because I'm really getting the feeling that this is somebody who is in a current relationship, right? Somebody who is married. Somebody here, either you, your partner, or the person you're interested in, or both. I don't judge. Somebody here is probably married. And somebody else is either single and interested in said married person, or both people are married and perhaps interested in each other, or nobody's married, but everybody has been in a recent long-term or significant soul contract relationship, and yet stepping away from that is really starting to cause a bit of anxiety, because the unknown, again, we all fear the unknown. So, all right, let's take a look at some messages that might be resonating with you, as far as like, what could the person that you're dealing with be thinking or feeling about you in this moment in time. So we're just going to let however many want to pop out and read them, because these are just intended to be messages from the person that is coming through the strongest in this reading. Okay, that's what we got. Oh boy. All right, so first card you have, You're My Favorite, followed by Obsessed, followed by I'm leaving, followed by emotional intimacy. And the last one that you got is father wounds. So let's read these cards. We're going to start with, you're my favorite. You're the person I want to call when something good or bad happens. The first thought when I have to share my news. Like, you're my person type of energy. So somebody's sparking an interest in someone here, or both people are sparking an interest, and in the current energy, it can feel very much like a little bit of obsession. I think I'm obsessed with you. I think about you all the time. You run in and out of my mind all throughout the day. So it's just like, it's a very heated, hot connection that's happening. And again, this tells us right here, right? It's obviously some sort of a soul tie connection that you've got. And if you've been coming from a Five of Cups energy where you're feeling a lot of lack and you're feeling like you've sort of been left out in the cold by a current partner or situation, it can be very easy to be tempted to seek that warmth, that sun, that Two of Cups energy elsewhere. I'm leaving. I'm ready to leave a situation or a mindset that has not served me or hindered my growth. So that doesn't necessarily have to mean like I'm leaving let's say it's, for example, a partner that you're with. Perhaps you're not ready to leave the partner, but you're ready to leave the mindset that I can't go explore something that brings me joy and happiness because of this said partner that I have a bond with, because if it's going into two separate directions and you're outgrowing each other, then perhaps this person came into your life to just make you mindful of that, and that doesn't always necessarily mean people leave. People find people all the time when they're growing apart, and then sometimes that person that they have this great ignited, magical connection with, that they feel like is like a soulmate, actually, brings them back to warmth and to remembering like the feelings of love, and then they realize, look, I feel great in this, but I don't want to leave where I am, and that's okay. Emotional intimacy. I'm afraid to truly open up to you. Being raw and authentic with my emotions is something I'm still working on. So this can also be very much in line with this moon energy, right? I kind of said at first that the moon doesn't always have to be like a sneaky thing. It can also be like, I've got feelings that I'm holding close to my vest because I'm just not ready to share them with anybody yet. Father wounds. My father is a big influence on my behavior now as an adult. I have challenges with connecting to the divine masculine energy within me externally. So all of us have an inner child, right? All of us do. There's a little girl inside of me. There's a little girl or a little boy inside of you. And those children within us typically carry those wounds from our childhood, from our teenage years, even all the way up through college and before we have like fully frontal lobe development at 25, all considered still to be like a young adult or a child, where often like one of the things we tend to do is blame things on our parents, right? Because if you have children, you might resonate with the fact that we only do the best that we can with what we have, right? And we make mistakes. Our kids might think we're perfect until they reach an age of enlightenment and realize that we're human just like they are. So, and often we, as parents, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to be these perfect beings for them, right? And sometimes it's like, I still have father or mother wounds within me, talking from your perspective, that haven't been totally healed. And I'm, starting to recognize that something about this relationship is sparking that for me. Okay, so I'm going to lighten the mood on this reading because it feels a little heavy, Cancer. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it feels like a lot of love. It feels like there's a lot of really exciting things coming your way, but you definitely have some anxiety about it. You've definitely been feeling like you were not fulfilled for quite some time here, which is, again, the world, the universe, source, God, whatever you believe in, brings you what you need when you need it, even if you think you're not ready for it. So it's like, are you going to trust it, or are you going to stay, are you going to stay caged in to your limited beliefs? Because ultimately fear is what would hold you there. So let's pull out one of these cards. Let's see if there's any messages from the universe here that can help give you some guidance as you're going through this time. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. That's a great message for anybody. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. So that very much talks about, again, like, I don't have to stay in stagnant energy. I have the freedom to explore. If I'm honest with myself, I have the permission and the ability to say, okay, what choice am I being led to make next, right? There's a whole thing out there. Do people have free will? Do people not have free will? I'm not going to get into that right now, but whether you believe in it or you don't, it's one of those things where there's very much a sense of everyone agreeing that there's a path that we're sort of come to the world that's like you feel it, right? When you meet someone or when you get that job that you've been working so hard for, or a new friend comes into your life, or an old friend that you thought was going to be there forever departs from your life. I mean, there's so many spiritual lessons that you learn here on this earth field that you can learn again through platonic, romantic, or just completely random relationships and situationships that occur. But if you are cognizant that they're all here to teach you something, you're very much likely to higher your vibrational frequency and go towards what's really meant for you. So Cancer, this is what I have for you right now. I feel like this is a lot. This is a lot of information. I hope that you gain something out of this reading. I think overall the message is like, you've got the decision to make as to whether or not you're going to move forward and allow yourself to be honest with yourself. There's some sort of like justice in choosing yourself. I'm getting that strongly here, that it's like, let go of some of that debilitating fear that you have, because a rebirth doesn't always have to lead to like a total blow up tower. A rebirth can very much lead to this beautiful energy of like warmth and heart space and no longer feeling so alone and feeling like there's something to look forward to. Okay, Cancer, this is what I have for you. I guess, you know what, I'll do this. I'm going to give you one last set of cards here that's just going to be intended to give you some signs that you might be dealing with. This could be their sun, moon, or rising or Venus sign. And if that person's card doesn't show up, that doesn't mean it's not your reading. It just means that, you know, this is for somebody out there. Let's pull out 5 cards for who Cancer might be dealing with in love right now. We've got a Taurus. It's an earth sign. We've got Virgo next. That's a fellow earth sign to Taurus. We've got Leo energy here, which is very much that King and Queen of Wands energy. We've got an Aquarius, and we've got Gemini. Again, sun, moon, or rising. So Geminis and Cancers, they have interesting dynamics. They can very much, depending on the moon and the sun sign and the Venus, either be compatible or not. But these were some of the signs that came up for us today. Cancer, thanks so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate you. Please give the video a like if you haven't yet already. I would really appreciate you doing that. If you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell so that you know the next time that I hop on here and give you a reading. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.